From breaking half of revertivepulse.net and most of the services I provide there to rewatching Solo, a Star Wars story, and thinking, I still like this movie, but I think it's stupid that they kind of crammed everything about Han Solo's life that we know into one event and butchered the Kessel Run, but that's a whole other discussion to have at a later point. I've had an alright day, and then I noticed that it was starting to get late, and I'm like, maybe we should go on and take care of Hovind. I also noticed today that it's been over a month since I wrote anything for my website, and feel kind of bad because usually October is my favorite month to write, but well, I guess that didn't happen. But enough preamble. We're going to click the magic buttons that send us to the horror that is Dr. Dino's totally non existent YouTube channel, where we're going to look at whatever the hell it was he streamed last night, which apparently is a video titled, What About the Apocrypha? That should be fun. I do intend on finishing last night's stream, since that was over 2 hours of us just by the end of it just totally giving up because the man used an AI generated incorrect periodic table rather than just pulling an actual one from some kind of source. And that was past my limit. But we'll finish it because we still got like 10 minutes that might be fun to look at. But right now, let's go on and get to What About the Apocrypha?
Folks, Ken Hovind here in the crew at Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox, Alabama. It is November the 7th, 20.
And we have Tiny Kent again. Yeah. Joseph, does Kent know you're doing this? Does Kent know things are broken? Or were you guys not able to pay for, well, no, you had to have been able to pay for Restream because you're still, you still got, got everything else going on. Or you're just muxing it. Oh, I know what it is. Your entire multiplexing setup broke. And so this is how you're doing things now.
25. Tonight, open like mic in a few minutes. We're going to tackle another a question we get quite often. What about the Apocrypha? Okay, a couple questions first. You send your questions in. Joseph, is there a link they can find us from there? Yeah. Okay. We're on, let's see, Rumble or Facebook going up.
Joseph, why don't you just do all of this? Because I never seem to have a fucking clue what's going on in my own goddamn media empire. Hovind.
Almost 200,000. Tell your friends to get on there. Okay. Rumble, X, our own app, KentHovind.tv. It costs us $6,000 a year. If you want to get on that and help us out, please do. TikTok, let's see, Instagram, just get on all of them. They're all listed on drdino.com. Okay, here we are, the 7th. Coming up next Tuesday night, Veterans Day.
What about the Scrolls of Rassilon, indeed?
Hey, if you're a veteran, come visit. We'll treat you like royalty. We appreciate what the vets did.
I'm a veteran of the console wars. Does that count?
For our country.
No, all joking aside, I would never, even beyond playfully try any kind of stolen valor bullshit. That really pisses me off when people do that.
I see vets all the time in Walmart and stores. I say, look, thank you for what you did, and I apologize for our stupid politicians.
Yeah, you can't. It's got to be, thank them, but you got to complain about the politicians. I've never brought that up with Vietnam when I encounter a Vietnam vet, because all I care about is the thanking of them as an individual for being on duty, for having served. That special status that most people choose to give those individuals for that. That's all that matters. I don't give a goddamn about the politics at that point. I don't care if you're if it's a goddamn Afghanistan or Iraq veteran. Those are my generation. It's, Iraq War started the year I graduated high school. So, that is literally my peers who went through that. Iraq and Afghanistan. Up to one of my friend's kids almost being deployed to Afghanistan. How the fuck does that happen? But remember, all the people who talk about all the generations, the boomers, zoomers, and all that shit, want to treat, us as the same fucking generation. That's a side thing. I just always think about that as how the fuck can we be the same generation according to your arbitrary numbers if it's just insane. Point is, sorry, see, I got derailed on my own thing. That's the way my brain works. Point is, I don't make that shit political. Kent, why the fuck do you have to do that? Oh, right, I forgot. You're one of those people. That's a thing about right-wing fuckwits like Kent. They gotta make everything political when it doesn't need to be. Hell, nothing you hear about anyone in MAGA and shit talking about is really a political issue, but they make it that because distract from what they actually need to be doing, basically pretend to do their jobs and lie to everyone that, oh, see, we're going for your rights. Look at this and look at that. It's like, dude, you're not doing shit for anybody. I digress. Let's let Hovind have his diarrhea of the mouth some more.
They send you places you got no business going. Insane. What
Like Dinosaur Adventureland.
do sometimes. Okay. Anyway, Thanksgiving coming up.
Insane what they do sometimes. Can't let's seriously talk. Where were troops sent that they didn't need to be? Debatably Iraq. No, I'm not going to say that Saddam Hussein didn't need to be overthrown in some capacity or another by something. But at the same rate, the reasons we went in there were based on flimsy information at best. Would you count Iraq, or would you say that was fine? Afghanistan, when we knew Bin Laden wasn't there anymore, and we had already taken out the existing power, which again needed to be taken out, insofar as they were taken out, as in taken out of authority for what we really were able to do. You know, Kabul was the capital of an actual independent nation for like 18 years or something, and then we left and Taliban took over. Point is, was that necessary, or did we stick around way too long? The longest conflict we've ever fucking been in. I'm sure you'd complain about Vietnam, but at the same time, weren't you fighting those godless commies? Wouldn't you support fighting against them godless commies? Was Korea a problem for you, Kent? I know it ended around the time you were born, but was that a problem for you, thinking back? Did your daddy have strong opinions on Korea? Did he use a certain G word to refer to the Koreans? I'm sure he did. Or are you complaining about daddy in World War II? Or maybe your your granddaddy in World War I. Was that an issue? Are you mad he didn't get to take shots at the Kaiser? I don't know, Kent. You tell me. Because, and for some reason, people get so pissy when I bring this up. Republicans seem to fucking love war, yet simultaneously, they always act like they complain about it and hate it. Which is it? Do you like it or not?
End of the month, you're welcome to join us. Christmas, come join us. We'll be your family for Christmas. I still need about 8 people coming through Dallas to bring some of the stuff, some of the animals and some of the fossils and stuff the guy's got for us. He works for
Bring some fossils and animals from Dallas. Do it now.
millionaires cleaning swimming pools, and they know he brings stuff to us. They're always donating chainsaws, saws, tools, amazing stuff, fossils.
Ken should apologize for existing. The world does not need anyone like him.
Who knows? Anyway, come on down. We need stuffed animals for Noah's Ark. Okay, you want to get some pair of stuffed animals, any kind, we'll put them in the Ark. We don't want to have to feed real animals. So help us to open for free. Join our 777 club. Call 855 Big Dino, extension 1 or 2. Call 3, you'll get me, but I got no clue what it's about. So no. Okay.
I constantly say I have no clue what's going on. This is all I fucking care about. I micromanage the numbers and fucking call up everyone who hasn't donated since their last welfare check and be like, why the fuck haven't you given me my money? Do I have to send Bruno over there? Because he'll fucking go. That's why we don't have any money to bring anything here. I spend it all on travel expenses for my horde of goons. Yep, I go around doing a lot of gooning.
But I answer my phone all day long at drdino.com. 9.6 years. Do you see this one, Joseph? Come on, Stan, you can do it. What are you, pelican or pelicant?
Boomer humor. It's mortifying to think that little comics and shit like that have been being drawn. Like, I remember seeing shit exactly like this, and this could be from that era, since when I was a kid. So that's, 35 plus years ago. Easily, of just me being aware of little cartoons like this. So the boomer humor is coming from people who, if they were Kent's age, the age he is now, almost 73, they would have been, 30 to 40 range when this stuff was made. It's incredible. Just to think that this is like a fundamental thing with a generation that has always been a thing with them, but it's like universally cemented as the old person's thing. Like for some reason, the baby boomers are the quintessential perpetually old people, and then everyone who's gotten old since them has just become another fucking boomer. Absolutely incredible. I don't know what the hell exactly happened with society for that to be where we're at, but there we are.
You think he's going to be able to swallow that? That's going to be crowded. Okay,
No, Ken, it's a stupid fucking cartoon. What the hell, dude?
I was debating three atheists at once, and I mentioned about, carbon dating and all this kind of stuff. It doesn't work.
And you said a bunch of lies as usual because you're Ken Hovind and you don't say shit that's true.
Here's what one of the scoffers said in the comment section. This guy is either a con artist or really this ignorant.
Yeah, it's the former, Barry. Or, excuse me, Al Schaefer, because Kent has this formatted so fucking weird and he has those underlines. Why do you have the names underlined, Kent? God damn, everything you do is creepy.
You're giving two choices that are neither one, Al. There's a third one. He's a genius and he's right.
You're no genius and you're not right, you fucking egocentric prick. People watch this ass clown and they think, yeah, he's right. He talks like that. What the fuck?
Never thought of that one, did you? I'll help you out, okay? Creationists use all the science except the science that directly contradicts their beliefs.
Where's the lie? Everything this dude's saying, spot on.
Really? Would you please show me what I've neglected? I'll take on any topic.
People have forever, and you never acknowledge it because you're dishonest. I'm sorry, why am I interrupting so much for my lovely audience who already knows exactly what I'm going to say?
Topic in science you'd like, okay? I think it all supports our creation. That's where the magic stuff is inserted between actual facts. They twisted both together to make it sound authentic, so it's sad, really. This sounds
Oh yeah, that's why I do what I do, because that's what Kent does.
exactly like what they do with evolution, okay? So there's Al. He's a machine shop.
Wow. Wow, dude. Kent, what the actual fuck? You're just going into people's goddamned profiles. Make sure to never interact on his Facebook page because you will fucking get as doxxed as possible from this absolute ass clown, worthless human being who needs to be banned from the internet. And that is truly something that I do stand by as a concept, which is ironic given my general freedom stance on things, is that some people just need to be banned from using the internet. Just any social aspect of it, gone. They cannot be trusted with it. They cannot be allowed to have that kind of voice in such an active methodology, or for reasons like this. Lock them out completely to not be able to pull this kind of stuff. They need a restricted internet for themselves of just data.
Supervisor, and he went to high school. Whoa, he's qualified to call me stupid then, no question. Yeah, bring it on, Al. I'll debate you anytime.
I'm just thinking, someone out there is like, oh, Chris has an iPhone. Not that I haven't mentioned it before, but hearing that text message come in.
Brian, he said, debate conspiracy cats again. Was the best debate I've ever seen. Going into debate and evolution is not knowing about allele frequency is like going into a debate about Star Wars and not knowing who Luke Skywalker is. Well, I don't know who Luke Skywalker, nor do I care anything about Star Wars, but I know what allele frequency is. Now, you tell conspiracy.
You really don't, buddy. And endogenous retroviruses. What was the exact line? Say it with me, friends. 3, 2, 1. I'm not prepared for that.
Cats or anybody else, Brian. Tell any of you believers in the evolution religion, I'll debate any of you or all of you at the same time, anytime. Okay?
Which continually reminds me that I need to email back Joseph, but I've got a lot better things to do, like scratch my ass.
Simple.
I mean, not right now, but, sometime down the way.
Simple format. Pick a topic. Here's the topic we'll debate. What are the best 5 evidences for evolution, macroevolution, like molecules to man, like the family tree they show? Okay? Secondly, they go for
What are your best 5 evidences for a basic synopsis of an entire field of science? What's your best 5 evidences?
First and give the one topic at a time. They can have up to 15 minutes max per topic, okay? I get
simple format for the debate. Nah, buddy. The person you want to debate has equal say in how the hell this stuff goes. And if you want to play this card again, see what's probably happened is people have been contacting him, but they've been saying no, fuck you with regard to his debate terms. And so, yeah.
Time to refute it. No interrupting, and mics are shut off when the other side is speaking.
No, fuck that noise. You're not going to get your preach debates, buddy. People are tired of giving you that kind of liberty when you don't deserve it. You should be contested in real time because it shows you don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about. You stumble all over yourself like the absolute fucking moron you are. Also, I don't know if y'all can tell from the couple of green pixels down there, but it looks like Dino Lamp is turned on. So, greetings, Tiny Dino Lamp. How are you doing? Great to see you. Really, it warms my heart to see that you have been plugged in and powered on again. Or some AAA batteries got shoved in it, because I think that model uses both. I don't care either way. It's getting the power it needs. The light emitting diodes are emitting light. The plastic's green, because I don't think the LEDs themselves are green. Maybe they are. I don't fucking know. Either way, it's glowing green. It's cool. I still want one. Actually, I want one of each because they have like a blue one and a green one. And I think there's two different styles. I'd like to have a bunch of them. They're cool.
No interrupting.
Oh, also, random fact, if anyone wants to get me random stupid gifts, because Christmas time and my birthday are coming up, I kid, but seriously, I really like rubber ducks. So if you ever find some rubber ducks just hanging around out of nowhere and, don't want them rotting in the trash and becoming more microplastics in the world, I'll take them off your hands.
Like Aaron Nelson does all the time, calls himself the sun god. No profanity. Each side
Fuck shit, bitch ass cunt. There you go, Kent. How you like them apples?
can record and post without edits, other than profanity if needed. Edit that out, okay?
Oh, now you got licensing agreements going on. Nah, buddy. No. Also, Joseph, good job. I can't read this shit because you got Selfie McSelfington saying, please don't forget to like and share. Real good job there, Kent. Now, would it be, hey, look, the irony is completely non present because I don't have anybody on screen. I should probably check out what some of y'all have been saying. So let him ramble on for a while and check out your comments.
855 Big Dino, attention 4 to schedule. Joseph, there it is. 2 hours max on the debate. If we need more time, we'll do another debate the next night. But I don't want to go more than 2 hours. It hurts my throat, hurts my jaws, and I'm getting old. I'm tired. Okay. Here's the tree of
You've been old and tired.
life I want you to defend. That a single-celled creature, amoeba.
Here's the tree of life I want you to defend. See, right there, Kent. You're automatically establishing this simplified representation of a concept is something I demand that you defend as per our debate arrangement. Not any of the scientific principles surrounding this stuff like you sort of appear to want. Oh, no, 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 no. You want someone to defend that exact artistic representation, which grossly oversimplifies the connected nature of life itself. Fuck you, you dishonest cunt.
Protozoa, whatever you want to start with, bacteria, slowly evolved into humans. The debate will center around this family tree taught to millions of students as if it is a scientific fact. What evidence is there for all these lines they drew on paper to connect them? There is none. Here's the debate I did with Conspiracy Cats, and he thinks he won. Okay. Think what you want. Let's do another one.
And you think you won, cunt?
Conspiracy Cats.
He's got a Doctor Who shirt on. I remember when I used to like Doctor Who. And then my now ex broke up with me, and that kind of tainted things. And the show went downhill, Once it hit Peter Capaldi era, I was not enjoying myself. There's a lot to it. I don't want to make it into a big discussion, but I didn't like where the show was going. I kind of had my fill and, tried to do some classic Who and enjoy that, but I couldn't go super deep in it. And then with her breaking up, it's like, yeah, whatever. I smile when I see references sometimes.
Wherever you are. Let's see, Brian, Case, who's talking here? I always say that. Hovind run like a coward when Simon, Dan, and Conspiracy Cats challenge him. I've challenged them how many times, Joseph, and they don't respond? Every night. What do you mean? I'm running? Walk.
Yeah, like Kent would know about Conspiracy Cats not having that channel, though. Recall, everyone, that it was donated to MC Toon for them to use, so it's now Conspiracy Toon, or Toons, I think is the name. And Conspiracy Cats moved on to the Culture Cats channel to talk about more varied subjects. So it was a very nice, honest donation to a friend of his. And I mean, I'm still subscribed, so it worked. There have been cases where people have gifted channels to others, and I've said, nah, not sticking around. Sorry there. Hell, Ranty Flat Earth. Well, he went by Randy now. Ranty. I forget what his actual account name is now. Auditing the Absurd. He stopped being a flat earther. I subscribed to his stuff, was enjoying it. Sorry, here comes a little mini diatribe. Then came the thing with whoever the fuck it was, the Johnny Depp thing and his girlfriend or whatever at the time. And he was posting clips of the court case because they were getting fuck tons of views. And I was just like, nope, I'm out. And then eventually, when I saw after that had stopped being profitable, which I can't blame somebody for trying to milk something current, but it's just one of those things. Once that had stopped happening and he went back to normal stuff, I resubscribed because I'm like, okay, you're back to normal. Let's go. Um, and yes, I realize with me posting, like the Castlevania videos and the like, and doing some other stuff that could push some people away in that same rate on my end, it's a risk I'm willing to take for diversifying the channel because this is my stuff. It's just the main things I've been able to do since I don't have half my equipment with me to do cool videos on is, doing the whack of Hovind and stuff. It took off. Um, I don't know. Just discussing this made me think about those things as, doing these streams usually does. And I love how this whole time Cats has been staring at me all serious, looking like, you say the wrong thing, I'm coming for you. Let's continue while I check out more of your lovely comments. Also, Telecaster, hello, beautiful. Interesting that it's got a pick. If it has a pick guard, it's the same. I mean, I don't know if it's proper Fender Telly. Without a pick guard, I feel like it wouldn't be a normal Fender manufacturer, but that'd be the standard dual single coil setup. Oh, I'd rather be playing guitar right now, but I don't feel like pulling all the equipment out.
They are running, okay? Let's see. I always say that. Hovind, run like a coward. No, I don't. It's the song they made. I don't know about that.
And yes, Standard for Truth will mute the other person, but never mutes Kent. He can talk over anybody, so that's why when I eventually get back to Joseph, I'm going to stress, no, I'd rather do modern day debate. And let's be clear that I don't respect modern day debate at all. But I'd rather use that as a platform than anything Hovind approved.
Okay, Dr. Hovind, what about the books of Enoch? I got them right here someplace. Did have. Where'd they go? They were just on the right side. Oh, right here. Here's one of them, the book of Enoch, book of Josephus, the Apocrypha.
Don't you love how I'm covering Kent so you can't even see his dumbass?
Ah.
Oh, which reminds me, when I mentioned Dino Lamp earlier, you can't see that. Let me maximize Kent here as much as I don't want to. There you go.
We got all kinds of stuff in my library. How many? Somebody counted the books. We got, what, 4,000? I haven't read them all, but I read a lot of them. Okay. Here's the complete 54-book Apocrypha. So what about this Apocrypha? Dr. Hovind, Gail Riplinger here.
Rochester Swift. Oh my God. I know. And dude, thank you for coming in constantly and telling them where they can cram their idiocy. Oh God. Like I knew if I just let their comments pop up and be dumb, they, someone would, you or another comrade would go in and say what needs to be said. They're hating that I called out their stupidity. But of course, that's how everything works, right? Laura, I mean, obviously on YouTube, but I think if you type in Conspiracy Cats Kent Hovind, you'll find it. It should just be around.
Praying for you daily and the ministry, I've attached a digital copy of my new ebook titled Serpent's Apocrypha. I've got it on my computer here. In my original book, New Age Bible Versions, which is, let's see, Hazardous Material, New Age Bible Versions. It's here someplace. It's on her website, Dr.
Yes, Amber Turd on the bed. It's on her website,
avpublications.com. I documented how the Antichrist would use the Apocrypha to bring in his false one-world religion. I never thought I'd see the day when the true Christians, in particular the King James Bible folks, would be promoting it. But that day has come.
Now, see, I don't know about that, Kerman. Kerman? We've lost Jeb Kerman. R.I.P. Jeb Kerman. Sorry, had to. I miss playing KSP. I should probably check and see if it's stagnant enough that I could update all my mods and stuff again. Anyway, so saying modern day debate won't platform Kent. It's weird because they'll platform that Andrew Wilson guy who is absolutely detestable. just absolutely, they love having him on. So that sounds nah, because they let any piece of shit debate on there. To me, it seemed what I had last heard was an issue that Kent had with um, MDD themselves uh, for being fair moderators, and got pissy and decided they would stop going on there. Hence why those debates eventually just stopped. That was my understanding of what the hell happened. So I don't know for sure though. Let me know if y'all need to see Kent for something. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have myself plastered over him.
There's a dangerous movement now that is promoting the Apocrypha. It's spearheaded out of a Bible museum in Arizona, headed by Gary Riverino. Okay. My new ebook soundly responds to this heresy with all new research. The first 63 pages summarizes the issue with an overview on page 2, a table of contents on page 3, and other 60 pages showing heresies in the Apocrypha, as well as historical proof. It's AD, not BC. This is important. All the Apocrypha books were written after Christ, after the disciples.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
AD, Anno Dominio, Latin for in the year of Lord. But they claim it's written
Anno Dominio?
the disciples. AD, Anno Dominio, Latin for in the year of Lord.
Excuse me for a moment. Okay. Let us switch this over to Latin. Where you at? Latin, lao, Lascalen, Latin. Oh, that is the Nostri, but let's just listen.
Anno Domini nostri.
Okay, I was just making sure I wasn't crazy. Anno Dominio, Kent, Anno Domini. Anno Domini. Come the fuck on, Kent motherfucking Hovind. You don't know a goddamn thing. How this shows that the only people who follow you have to be absolute fucking morons. Because to hear someone who's supposed to be a theologian mispronounce that to that degree is not just a mistake, a flub. Oh, no, Kent. That shows you give zero fucks. You've never learned it. You don't fucking care. You never will care. And while you act like it matters, it really doesn't, because all of this is just a means to an end for you to get money. What the fuck, dude? Add that one to the notes list of stupid shit Kent says and does. Doesn't even know what Anno Domini actually, what the words are. Thinks it's Anno Dominio. Well, is that how he talks to any Hispanic person he sees going around? Washo el caro, por favor. Hovind. Fucking racist piece of shit. Honestly, that's where that stems from, too. Racism. You know it has to, because the particular accentation he used on it, not that he's aware of it, but the accentation he used on it. Latin is traditionally considered to not have an accent in the way we think of it, that it's very literal to the way the letters, for the most part, would be pronounced by if you just blandly pronounce them. Something funny about the language, like just in the fact we use a Latin script. I don't know. Forget the analysis of it, like the reasons behind it, but it doesn't have that refined pseudo-Spanish accent that all the racists have come up with. God damn, Kent.
Lord. But they claim it's written before Christ in the intertestament period. That is not true. The Apocrypha is fake. It's phony. All of it. Okay. Now there's some good history in there, but it's not part of Scripture for sure. Another 40 pages gives my correspondence answering question. The final 1,200 pages is the English translation of the original Latin book, written by the founder of the King James translator, John Reynolds, to refute the Apocrypha.
Okay, English translation of the original Latin book, written by the founder of the KJB translator. To what? What the fuck is a KJB translator? Is that... First off, shouldn't that be KJV? So King James Version instead of King James Bible, because that makes it sound, that grammatically says that it's the Bible of King James, as if it is about his own identity as some deity, a collection of books regarding him, or as his personal Bible. But then translating it to other languages? Okay, but what authority does that give that person for any? What the fuck, man? What the fuck even is all this? Good fucking God.
The book contains my new research proving that none of the Apocrypha was written in the intertestament period. It was all written after the New Testament was circulated. Hence, any quotes in it.
Yeah, let's be extremely clear here. If God at all existed and inspired and wrote this text, there would be some explicit way that it could be encoded into a universal language, as others are saying here, like some kind of binary. So I forget the exact details, but the Voyager records, instructions on how to play and understand them include, I think it's some presumably understood abstract rendition of hydrogen or something to that effect. Um, Something like a particular spectral broadcast line or something from it, which is used as like a basic meter, as in an actual unit of measurement for if a civilization were to find the records and has vision and or can touch and understand the inscriptions to figure out how to play them and hear the sounds of Earth at the right speeds. It's crazy, but it kind of works. It includes, diagrams of where the hell we are, what planet, what planet on what system we're from. It's not exactly accurate anymore, but it's accurate enough. Um, and you can do that kind of stuff. You can find with math, with certain logic, with physics, ways to universally encode something. And if Magic Sky Daddy could have done that, it could existed. They could have encoded it in such a way that there would be no translation issues, there would be no confusion. It would be exact copies every single time. But it's not. It never has and never will be. Fucking stupid, man. Every time you think more about it, it's fucking stupid.
That modernized apostate scholars pretend Jesus and Paul quoted were actually just plagiarized from the New Testament itself. AV Publications. Here's the link. So,
And yes, Hovind not liking Italians is also a very likely situation because I can guarantee you his dad didn't like him. He didn't like the Japanese, he didn't like anyone from East Asia. I ain't gonna say the O word. He probably didn't like Irish or Italians either.
here's her book, Serpent's Apocrypha, about 13 to 16 bucks, okay? You send them on the media type you get, right? Here's the topics. King James appointed 1611 book refutes the Apocrypha. Apocrypha contains heresy. Early translators refuted it. King James and the translators refuted it and removed it quickly. There's a guy selling the 1611 King James with the Apocrypha as if this is the best. You can hardly read the font for one thing, okay? It had
You can barely read the font for one thing, okay? Who the fuck cares, Kent? Is that now a criteria for things? Jesus fucking Christ, what the hell does that matter? Is the information contained within correct or not? If that's one of your criteria for it being correct or not, I got bad news for you. Not a goddamn thing would be correct to my blind ass because I can barely read shit anymore. Vision's blurrier than I don't know what.
typing errors, spelling errors, printing errors, okay, spelling errors. Plus,
Like, I ain't even gonna lie, my vision's so bad that I know there's crud on my glasses right now, and I don't even care to clean it off because it is nowhere near as distracting as it would be if my vision was sharp, and it's not. So, what can you do about it?
spelling wasn't standardized. Sometimes, even today, some words are spelled several ways, same word spelled. But so the 1768 version, I think it is where they corrected the printing errors. They had the type font misspelling and stuff like that. No actual evidence that it came before.
The type font. Oh, Kent, you're almost there. If you're talking about an actual early printing or any kind of printing beyond more modern methods, it would be typeface from the type slugs. And the same is true of a typewriter. Typewriters don't have fonts. Never say a typewriter has a pretty font. It has a pretty typeface. Also, the bigger the number, the smaller the typeface on a typewriter. The typeface number means characters per inch. The standard is 10. Elite, as it's commonly called, is usually 12. Some are smaller, some are larger. So if you want something that's a unique specialty typewriter to type really big letters, you'd get something that has like an 8 or a 6 size typeface, which is very practical for anything but very special purposes. I'm a fan of Elite myself, and yes, I can barely read it at this stage, but the traditional is also nice. I've got multiple typewriters of varying typefaces and typeface sizes because I love those fucking things. And printers are evil. They are the most evil thing ever devised by humanity. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Christ, and was written
Printers are the work of evil. Change my mind. Yamato.
by heretics after Christ. So don't come tell me you read in, Second Maccabees and
Oh, I love that it fucked up right when he said Maccabees. Every time I hear Maccabee, all I can think of is like Rugrats. Because remember, I grew up in the '90s. Like they had a Hanukkah special or whatever, and then one of the commercials for it was, instead of a baby's got to do what a baby's got to do, a Maccabee's got to do what a Maccabee's got to do, and I thought that was fucking hilarious. I didn't totally get it. I was like late single digits, possibly. I was like right at 10 or 11 when that was a thing. That particular special. So a little older. But I remember that commercial. It's like, that's funny. I don't get it, but it's funny because like just the terminology. Like I don't know the name, but I mean that worked. That the pun fit in. If you can call it that. Funnier than anything Hovind ever came up with.
the Apocrypha.
Also, I just want to note that it's fucking amazing that Rugrats could actually be a show where the mother is Jewish and the father is some variety of general Christian, and it never fucking came up in the show beyond specials and was never a matter of conflict. Also, the strange thing that Dee Dee's mom and dad were clearly Russian Jews or some variety of Eastern European, but with a father named Boris, it seemed heavily implied that they were Slavic. Rugrats was fucking awesome for a lot of elements. Also, little subtle hints that it was set in Central California, with like the two skater bros painting the house and saying they should put it in Raiders colors for Oakland. And the fact the climate was always really nice. Little stuff like that stuck out to me as a kid because, the tism. And then later I'd be like, holy shit, I was right. How the fuck was my 7-year-old ass figuring this out? Oh, yeah, because I have no social life and I'm a fucking nerd. Anyway, why am I talking about Rugrats? Oh, right. Maccabees. Which also sounds like a restaurant. Anyway.
It copies quotes from Paul and John. Okay. The net is Apocrypha. The arcane Apocrypha sat for centuries, safely alone and unattended, in Catholic coffee tables, Bibles, and occultist dusty shelves. Now, as men wax worse and worse, his devices are in your laptop, in your lap on laptops, and in your face on Facebook, scraping up sensational stuff.
And your face on Facebook, by the way, follow Ken Hovind on Facebook. He wants to get to 200,000 people.
More views. YouTube wandering stars compass sea and land for the naive, unlearned, and unstable. Just a few years ago, good King James Bible supporting folks agreed with all true believers that the Apocrypha was not inspired scripture. Of late, a tiny few.
Yeah, if I ever get to that point where I'm sending typewritten letters to people who support me and stuff, because I will totally do that, you are going to see corrections, errors, and all kinds of shit. It's going to be a mess. A very organic, mechanical mess, if that makes sense.
Have altered their position and are devising written and video hubris, which hustles the books of the Apocrypha.
Hubris, you fucking moron. And yes, I know I pronounce words that start with the H sound weird sometimes. Some people have messed with me about it. I don't quite pronounce the H a lot of times. I say human, say herb. I don't really pronounce the H, and some people say it's wrong, some people say it's right. I don't know. It's very subtly in there, though.
Apocrypha as being worthy of defense. Oh, they're trying to sell it. Okay. They defend it. Those defending it are naive about its history and the gravity of its errant theology. Little or big wheel spokesman can become spook.
Yeah, Laura, it is fucking hilarious how effectively capitalism took precedence over the theology.
Spooks with just a bit of old origins oracles. Apocrypha fans focus on the Apocrypha's agreeable point.
Zoomy, totally. Stuff like that, AIM. They got me typing super quick. Man, I know IRC is still, used enough, but I miss it during its heyday.
Blinded by the naivety about its form of godliness and asceticism. Read it for yourself if you must, in context. Let's see. She said her book will demonstrate the Apocrypha has been condemned for millennia, first by the Jews, then by good Christians, including King James. King James Bible translators condemned it. Earlier English translators condemned it.
I just want to go on record as saying I think the same thing all of you do. This fucking sucks.
The Anglo-Saxon scriptures, Wycliffe, Tyndale, Rogers, Coverdale, all of them condemned it. It is not scripture. I have Enoch, Apocrypha right here. I have plenty of this stuff on that. Look, keep it in your library if you want, but don't change your Bible to fit something in that stupid book. It's a forgery. You understand?
Don't get rid of your science books for putting in something from that stupid Bible. It's a load of bullshit, I tell you.
My position clear, Joseph? Okay. I would suggest you get all the books we have on our website by Gail Riplinger. Hazardous Materials, excellent book, huge book. The Language of the King James Bible. You got that one?
So, Zoomy, MIRC. Obviously, we all used and sadly never paid for. And that tiny, like 64 by 64 picture of dude's face is forever burned in my back parts of my memory. We used the scissor reset mod of it in the IRC groups I was in, strictly for file sharing. It was actually music game simulation files. So like we'd go, and IRC was a place to distribute whole packs of Dance Dance Revolution, like game song step packs, charts, everything for Stepmania and the like. And oh, that was so much fun. And this was right after DDR Extreme, before Supernova and the like. So it was in that weird period where Roxor was doing In the Groove. DDR had a lot of home releases around, but it was like really kind of like a semi-dead state. But it was still super loved, and it was just a wild time. Loved it.
There, Joseph. Which Bible is right? That's not by Gail Riplinger. It is AV Publications, okay? The dictionary hidden inside the King James Bible. That's fascinating. And here it is, In Awe of Thy Word. This one is, you can't put it down. You got to put it down because it's heavy. But it's a fabulous book. So, Gail, thank you. You did a wonderful job. Talked to her a couple times.
I got to put it down because it's heavy. Kent, I will move 100+ pound objects as a regular thing at work. I think I can handle your little book. And yes, I know that was his own stupid little joke. Hey, the cat wants in. Well, Cormier does. She has to do her usual check on me. Actually, let me put this down and let her in for... No, I think I can reach without pulling the cable out. Yeah, here we go. Come on, Cormy. There you go. There you go. Do your patrol. Or is that Alucard? Man, that's Alucard's fat ass. What are you doing in here? What are you doing, dude? He's more vocal than his sister. It's weird. Hey, dude. How's it going? You want to say hi to everybody? Say hi, Alucard. Come on. No? You're not going to say hi? Okay, dude. Do your patrol. Okay, anyway. I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about. It don't really matter. Oh, yeah. Me being a fucking boss at work, heaving boxes and shit around. Yeah. I know it was a joke about the book, being, about heavy books, you want to put, I don't know. I felt like that would be funny. It wasn't as funny as I thought. I'm going to end the joke here. Abort joke! Oh, now you want to say hi to everybody, Alucard.
Today, okay? Pray for her health. Let's pray for her right now. She's having some health issues. Heavenly Father.
Oh, God, no. Not fucking prayer.
I pray that you'll preserve Gail. Pray that you'll get her back 100% health and busy.
Mummify her now.
For another 25 years, doing all the amazing research she does. Please bless her now in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, anyway, so the Apocrypha.
Okay, so AIM, what's funny is there was a project, Nina, I think it was, and that got fucking taken down. So the reverse engineering of the AIM/ICQ protocol, because they used the same back-end engine, I forget what it was called, got fucking taken down. But escargot, the MSN rebuild, still works. And then, of course, there's XMPP services like what I run for IM chat. And Discord, yes. Stuff like Discord, Slack, etc. I consider them to be just sort of an evolution of IRC, in a sense. Some of the same principles.
Let's see. John Reynolds, originator of the authorized version, King James, clearly connects the Apocrypha with the papists.
Once again, authorized by who? These random people 300 plus years later? Come the fuck on, Kent. Authorized version of these nuts. Hey, Kent, mind goblins?
Would be the Pope, the Catholics. Satanists, falsehoods, and heresies in his 1611 book. That's when the King James came out. He wrote a book saying, don't trust the Apocrypha. He continues. Another one under the name of Abraham, which also they reveal is full of all evil. Also others under the name of Moses and others under the name of others. So they have books.
While we're talking about stuff, I have a hotline server running on Revertive Pulse. It has no files or anything because I've only got like 15 gigs available on that VPS, like free. It's 25 gig storage, but yeah. But I do intend on putting something of value up there for everyone and maybe creating a little community around that. I don't know. It's really more of an Apple thing. That was big among that community. But like Rosina remembers using it quite well, and I thought it was neat when I discovered it relatively recently.
For the heretics written in the name of the prophets. They claim it was Moses writing or, one of the prophets writing. No, it was.
And yes, Harold, you can drop that book on his head all you want. I will just look the other way. Actually, no, I'll stare right at it and fucking laugh. And if someone says, but you let him do it. Why'd you let him do it? I'm like, cause it's fucking funny. Kent getting beat to death by a fucking Bible is kind of hilarious. Gravity's doing the work. It's just someone else happens to be dropping it repeatedly. You can't blame him. It's a heavy book. You said you had to put it down, just happened to put it down right on Ken's head.
Not. It's forgeries, okay? Another highly apocryphal book produced in the Acts of the Nicene Council, if in the Greek Vatican Codex. Anyway, you can read about all this for yourself. The Bible says we're not as many which corrupt the word of God. Here's some samples Miguel has in her book.
I love that one. Cargo space? No. Cargo road, not go space. What country is this car from? It no longer exists, but take it for a test drive and you'll agree. Zatovlatik Zatniktyev or something like that. Like it's an actual phrase, but I don't know what it is. So it's kind of a close approximation. Put it in H. I seriously want an old post-Soviet car just to do that. Or get me a goddamn Lada from East Germany. I don't give a fuck. All I care about is getting from point A to point B. It doesn't have to be sexy. It doesn't have to be fast. It just has to move, and I'm good.
Apocrypha teaches another gospel. You get to heaven by works. It's what the Catholics want you to believe. It teaches donations and prayers for the dead. Yeah, you got to give money to get the dead out of purgatory, released from Catholic purgatory.
That's not actually how that works. I've read up a bit on that.
Well, if I give $500,
Not the way he thinks it does.
does that get Grandpa out of purgatory? Yeah, it gets him out 10 years early. How much time does he have? We don't know, but keep giving money. That's exactly what it is.
Meanwhile, give money to Hovind.
It's a cow you can't milk dry. It promotes suicide. Here's what
Whoa, he was about to say it and then he skipped ahead. Whoa. Did y'all see that shit? Just like modern assisted suicide, eugenics, zero population, and SSRI antidepressants. Fuck you, Kent. This shit right here, it takes the edge off of dealing with the world being destroyed by fucking evil-ass scum like you. It makes it easier to deal with the bullshit day in, day out. Because, Kent, through the magic of medical science, many principles of which are directly spawned from evolutionary science, we understand that for some people their brain chemistry isn't quite right, and a lot of stuff misfires. And so, can we correct that? Oh wow! It turns out yes, with selective serotonin receptor inhibitors, we can cause that problem to not happen. See, Kent, let me explain how this works. And some of you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of you may have a different kind of depression or other condition. I'm sort of bipolar, sort of depressive, more depressive than bipolar, but still. There is a manic phase associated with it. See, what happens is I have two key problems. One is points where I just can't handle stresses very well. Everyone has those, but sometimes it's a lot worse, and that takes the edge off the SSRIs. The other really big problem is, this will sound funny, but bear with me, things that should make me happy make me sad. In simple form, what it is a problem where the serotonin production, the parts of my brain that are sending out, chemicals, dopamines and the like, saying, hey, you should really enjoy this. You should be happy. The problem is during events like that, like as a kid growing up, birthday parties or other big things, the signals would just be wrong. And I would end up getting sad. And it turns out that the serotonin receptors were wired incorrectly or something to that effect. Somewhere, a signal that says happy, happy, happy translates to you should start panicking. You should feel upset. You should feel guilty. Now, some of this may be trauma from abuse, but there's definitely a chemical aspect to it because it happened even back when I was a little kid before I realized what kind of shit people were doing and what kind of shit was going on a lot. And having the receptors inhibited means that while there is a bit of a slight numbing effect, it pales in comparison to the fact that now I can generally enjoy things. And what's funny is my enjoyment of things now tends to become modest excitement. I don't get super happy about stuff. You hear me get excited in this and in these things when I go into little monologues on something I really like radioactive decay. That's about the peak of it. And that's not to say I've been numbed to things. One could interpret it as that, but no, 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 no. That's just sadly a side effect of everything being kept in limits. But I'm still sharp. I still feel emotion, and I feel the right emotions that I know I should. That also means, however, that when I am feeling frustrated with something, feeling pissed off at somebody for being a jerk ass, or just disliking a situation in general, that those feelings are genuine and that they've pushed extremely hard. Like some recent thoughts I've had on situations, like the situation in Gaza, that have brought me to tears. And I thought for a second it was just the fact I hadn't had my medication for a month, but in explaining stuff to my doctor during my last little visit while we got that all worked out, she explained what the actual half life in the body was for these compounds and told me, no, I mean, there's definitely still some more, still definitely, halfway out of your system, but a lot of it was still just you feeling stuff. And I'm like, okay, good. It was really therapeutic. And she's like, yeah, it probably would have hit you anyway. Were you still taking your medicine just fine? It was a buildup that was inevitable. It just came sooner than later. So, and that ability to feel, Kent, something you don't have. You don't have emotions. You don't have the ability to empathize. You don't have the ability to feel sad for somebody. Any kind of genuine emotions other than full of yourself. It was an incredible release to feel that sorrow for people suffering like that. Because it reminded me, one, as cynical as I am, I'm still human. I still do care. I still have a love for other people and a desire for people to not suffer, to be happy, to be able to live their lives. Which part of that has reinvigorated my socialist leanings and being more vocal politically on that front. That's besides the point. I have. Let me clear some stuff just a sec. It made me feel a bit alive again. Feel a level of happiness after the fact that there is a kind of hope in reality for things to get better. Once the problems caused by idiots like you are resolved and we no longer have to deal with your kind. And that made me want to keep fighting the good fight, as some would say. So, no, Kent, these SSRI antidepressants helping me remember why I do what I do and that I am. It's very full of myself to say, but I am a good person, unlike you. They make me want to stick around longer. So you got it all backwards, Kent. All fucking backwards. But That's the only way you can really have anything. You either don't have a fucking clue or whatever clue you have is completely bass-ackwards. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. The revolution will not be televised. I don't know. Let's continue.
That's exactly what it is. It's a cow you can't milk dry. It promotes suicide. Here's what happened. Shortly after the time of Christ, all the New Testament books were written. Finished, okay? Right there. Then in 240 AD, there was a cult down in Egypt called the Alexandrians. Alexandria, Egypt, right there. Nothing good ever comes out of Egypt in the Bible. They made a bunch of changes, left out 6,000. They made 6,000 changes, left out over 200 verses.
I'd like to note Zumi has expressed that they were getting kinky back in the day. More power to you. I mean, what do you say to that? It's like, by mistress, I mean the BDSM kind. There you go.
Verse left out. They were disputing with Stephen, first mention of Alexandria in the Bible. So then, a few copies of this Alexandrian Bible were made. Back in those days, you had to handwrite a copy. They had full-time people, that was their job, called the scribes, where we get our word subscribe, prescribe, inscribe, means to write, okay? That was their job. They would take the original book, have a scroll beside them.
Scribes existed before the Bible did, Kent. That just happened to be what scribes did during the stupid ages, because that's all anyone fucking cared about for about 1,000 plus fucking years.
And copy it line for line, line for line. When it got all done, they'd check it. If it's correct, certified, verified, etc., it's now an official copy. This is how the whole Bible was copied over and over for centuries.
And Zumi, I know I mentioned this, for a lot of people, I think you were in Discord when I mentioned getting my medicine. Yeah, that's the other one. Where'd you guys go? There you are. There's the Sarah Quill. How you doing? Good to see you. I can't remember much about my dreams, but they've been pretty wild recently. Like, wild in a bland sense. Like, if you mix Max Payne with a vacation trip. You know the seedy motel early on, or hotel early on in Max Payne? Something like that, but different. And it wasn't a Max Payne scenario. It was, I don't know. Like, they've been weird, but like, not horrible like previous ones. So that's been a plus. It's like having it out of my system for a while kind of reset the craziness of my dreams. Good stuff, though, for sleeping.
Before they had printing press. The Latin Vulgate.
And yes, it is an antipsychotic. That's its primary thing, which is part of why I get the vivid dreams. Because it's supposed to be stopping psychoses, but because my brain works otherwise normal for that, it actually kind of induces vivid dreaming during REM, but it really knocks you out and lets you get some real good sleep. And so even if a dream sucks, it at least means I was getting the deep sleep I need.
It was a translation from these corrupt manuscripts. Okay, the Catholic Douay Confraternity version was a good translation of the wrong book. I cover all this in video 7.
And you're wrong about that, because your version is actually a version made from the wrong books with parts added in, Kent.
Hort came along, made their New Testament from the Alexandrian manuscript. They blew it. The English translations of this corrupt manuscript include the Revised Version, the American Version, the Revised Standard, the New World.
Oh yeah, my circle is explicitly to sleep. I should try taking it one morning and seeing what happens. That would suck. I'd just go to sleep for 4 hours and wake back up.
Jehovah's Witness Bible, New American Standard, Good News, Amplified Bible. They're all good translations of the wrong book. They're translating a corrupt manuscript. Here's the NIV, Acts 8. As they travel along the road, let's see, they came to some water. The eunuch said, look, here's water. Why shouldn't I be baptized? Verse 36. Verse 38. Wait. Where's verse 37? It's gone. You have an NIV? Go check it out.
Wow, Kent, this has been explained by the lovely Laura that the parts in question that you say are missing weren't there originally. They were the additions. So it isn't a matter of something being taken away. It's a matter of something being added that shouldn't have been there. And then the goddamn numbers got canonized, for lack of a better term.
837 is gone. Why? And you have a New American Standard. Acts 8:37 is, they just got a line out. It says, see footnote. Jehovah's Witness Bible, they just put a line there. Here's the verse they left out. He asked him in verse 36, why can't I get baptized? The answer is, if you believe with all thine heart, you may. Well, the Catholics want to baptize babies. They're not believers. Can't have that verse in there. Took out 200 verses.
What's that, Kent? You mean the babies are atheists? Oh my God.
And made 6,000 other changes to fit their Catholic doctrine. No, I don't trust the Apocrypha. I forget who wrote the question, and thank you for asking. Okay. Dr. Hovind, what about the books of Enoch and the Apocrypha? Should they be in the Bible? You can read them. They can be in your library. They're ancient history, but they're not scripture. No.
Unrelated to anything Hovind's talking about, but related to that ass clown, I'm about ready to remove the mirror of what happened to Ken Hovind official, because one, it's beyond outdated. Two, I only had it uploaded to do a retrospective piece on, but I decided to make it public. And three, people are thinking it's an actual Kent Hovind like supportive upload and leaving comments. I just got now one says Kent YouTube benefits from you. They're going to presume they're talking about Kent, because they sure as hell can't be talking about me. Not that their statement about Kent is accurate, but it sure as hell wouldn't apply to me either. But in all seriousness, all I get are people slobbing on Hovind's knob, and I'm like, God damn, do I need this shit? Do I want this shit? Could have added in a disclaimer or something, but it's a straight mirror, so, you know, I don't know.
Their first century forgery.
It's like the Is Ken Hovind a Narcissist video. It's mirrored specifically because it needs to be, because it no longer exists out there in the public beyond that.
And should not be in the Bible. And
speaking of that, I still need to message Grantham. Yes, I know. The guy in the Is Ken Hovind a Narcissist video. I don't know if I had mentioned that I had actually found his Facebook, and he is an artist who does good art and seems to be having a pretty good life currently. And so I kind of want to message and be like, hey, I'm one of the guys who dislikes Hovind, and I remember you doing that video with him, and then you and your wife left. I stumbled across your account. One, wonderful art. Absolutely love it. Would love to have an actual piece down the line, and I'm not being facetious. He makes good art. I love it. And two, if you wanted to talk about your time at DAL, I'd be all ears. If not, that's totally cool. I don't want to make a thing. But I'm like, dude, you know, you seem to be doing good, and I'm so glad you got away from that. You know, I crack jokes and stuff, but you, as it stands as an independent person, I'm like, you're all right. You know, like what? I don't know how to address the feeling, but it's just like, yay, good. I'm glad. You know, I don't know. So this is why I suck at social situations. I overthink everything, and I don't know the words to use. And sometimes I should just shut up, and I don't. I know half of you like just continue with the Hovind video. Nah, Hovind video. Hovind, Chris, no. None of y'all want Hovind. All y'all want is to hear me talk, which is weird. Let's continue.
Sad that some of the more popular creation ministries are promoting Bible versions. They recommend it. Guys, wake up, okay? Okay. Other questions or comments, Joseph?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you suck.
Kent, was Muhammad a Christian and really is a Christian saint? No. Muhammad was, the Catholic Church sent some priests to find a young promising Arab that they could train. I got that video number 7.
Is this motherfucker about to say that Islam was started by the Catholic Church? Is this something I've just never heard before? Is this like some common thing, or is this just as weird to y'all as it is to me? Because holy fuck.
Seminar part 7. No, let's see. Alt F. Take a minute to find it here. I got the whole history of the Muslim faith, how they started. They don't.
Of the Muslim faith, you mean Islam? The word you're looking for is Islam, some variation thereof. I think I got it right at that point. Arabic's tricky like that.
No, most Muslims are very sincere, very dedicated. I mean, real dedicated. They'll kill you if you don't disagree with them.
No, most Muslims are not that dedicated like you think they are, you bigoted piece of shit. Most would fall into a moderate level, which is the same way the average Christian is considered quite moderate compared to the stricter interpretations of the theology. But you're a racist piece of shit. You have no clue.
But why I'm not a Campbellite, why I'm not a Catholic, why I'm not, let's see.
I gotta go through all these other books you can buy as well?
Books that we sell. Why I'm not a Seventh-day Adventist, why I'm not charismatic. I don't have it here, Joseph. Anyway, there it is. Why I'm not a Muslim. $16. You can get that on our website. I don't want to fight them, okay? I'm for truth and against error. The Quran says the Bible is perfect. The Bible says Jesus was God. they got a problem. Yeah.
Last I checked, the Quran did not make that kind of claim. Again, I could be mistaken. It has been several years since I dived into that in any detail, but I'm pretty sure it had some errata going on with regards to the Bible. That's kind of why Islam exists. Otherwise, the people would just be Christians
Check that out.
if
Anyway,
they didn't believe there were issues with the story as told and that element of the history.
okay, let's go to
What elements they, acknowledge anyway.
oh, that's not the one I wanted. One moment here. What was the question about Muslim? Here's the Pope kissing the Quran. There's
Oh
the
yeah, like 5 popes ago, John Paul II,
people marching around that square box. The
the Kaaba.
what do they call it? The Kaaba or something like that
Oh good, you were almost there.
in Mecca, right? What's in that box anyway? Oh yeah, here it is, right here. You ever wondered?
It's basically a meteorite, I should say. But it's the sacred fucking. Hey, at least they have their sacred object. What do you guys have? You don't have your Ark of the Covenant. You don't have your fucking cross. You don't have your Noah's Ark. You ain't got shit. +1 for Islam.
What's in there? There is a rock in there, a meteor that fell from heaven. They claim that's what they're worshiping. Okay, get the book The Prophet. We saw that.
It's not what they're worshiping. It is just a central point for their prayer. It is not an object being worshipped, but it acts as a focus, like a compass needle pointing north. That reminds me of a story with my dumb ass as a kid. I forget what the context was, but it was something about the importance of a compass. And it was like, what is it saying that it's north tells you? And my dumb ass, remember, I was a little stupid shit. I was dumb as hell as a kid, and a lot of times, mostly because I wasn't paying attention. My dumb ass said, "North is where home is." Like dead face, like serious. As the kids would say today, dead ass said it straight. It's like, nope. Oh, I was like first or second grade. I was fucking dumb. But that doesn't mean that. Just as north doesn't on a compass doesn't mean that's where your home is. It's used for guiding and navigating yourself. You know which direction north is. If you know where you need to go, you know where the direction you need to go is. Prayers towards Mecca point towards the Kaaba because that is how the ritual has been defined, and that's just how it works. What importance in Islam that has, and specifically channeling it to Allah or however all that works, is how it is, and I'm not going to argue with it because it's apparently self-consistent enough inside of the mythology, inside of the theology, that I don't care. It's fine. Quite honestly, as I've mentioned before, there's elements of Islam that I think are actually pretty cool. There's a lot of crazy stuff in there too that I'm not a fan of, but things like praying towards Mecca, that's kind of cool. Actually, you got to do all these calculations and stuff. And dude, fucking Burj Khalifa, tallest building in the world, so fucking tall that there is a proper, like a noticeable difference in the times of sunset from the top to the bottom. Each floor will have that couple of seconds time difference, but they're so tall that it adds up to like a couple of minutes, I think. And the elevators are so fast you can watch the sunset like at the bottom, then go to the top and watch the sunset again. They actually have like clocks in there for times of prayer, and it's specifically set up to accommodate for the height of the building. That's pretty fucking awesome. I'm not even gonna lie. It is. Because I like that kind of meticulous detail. But you're just completely insensitive, just childish scoffing at it. Shows how petty you are. That I, as a raging fucking atheist, can show some level of compassion towards this idea that I don't accept, don't believe in, but can find some elements of in universe that I like. In the same way there's stuff in Harry Potter that I think is kind of cool, even though I don't like 90% of it. And I can have no real issues with fans of Harry Potter, just like I have no real issues with Muslims in general, just like I have no real issues with Christians in general. Beyond thinking the mythology is silly, the theology is just not, it's just wrong. You've got to play the I'm an overgrown child card with it. And I'm so sick of dealing with adults who are just overgrown children. For the love of fuck, give me some people who are halfway intellectual. Oh, wait, I forgot. That's the lovely audience I have here. People who think. People who care about more than just their little fragment of the world. And for some reason, we're all united in our general disdain for you as both a person and what you speak and teach. That's all my fucking streams are anymore, is monologue after monologue. How are y'all doing? Let me press play on more of his bigoted shit while I catch up on more of your comments. Much love.
Don't we? Yeah. The Prophet. Don Boyce, friend of mine, has great material on Islam. Okay. I don't know if we still have that. CST, Common Sense for Today. CST News. Get his website. Great guy, good friend of mine. They said Muslims know that Muhammad was a prophet because he had a mole on his back. That's the proof. That's proof. Holy moly. Okay. And he said, Muhammad said, when I'm dead and buried in the ground and go back to dust, is that all? What will happen to me? He didn't know. Here's the Quran, Surah 4. When he reached the setting of the sun, he found it set in a pond of murky water. I think that's a scientific error, isn't it?
You're gonna suddenly say there's a scientific error. Oh, Kenty Winty, Mr. Bible is perfect. Oh, hey, unless I run into a Muslim who says that the Bible, the Quran is perfect and scientifically accurate, which is a common apologetic with Muslims. The more extremist Muslims who match your energy, so to speak, Kent, will say that it's full of all kinds of science that we never knew before, and they'll have the most pathetic defenses. Honestly, Islamic apologists are absolutely hilariously pathetic most of the time. They also pose no real threat to America in any way, shape, or form, so are low on the pecking order of things to combat. I'd rather focus my energy, like you say. I've only got so many. Too much energy. I've got too many dragons to slay, brother. Yeah, I've got to focus on you and your ilk because y'all are the actual threat right now. But unless it comes to the point where someone was trying to tell me the Quran was perfect and scientifically accurate, and I brought up that, there'd be no reason to otherwise because I don't care enough. Just like your Genesis account, I don't care until you try to say that it is actual fact. Then we have a problem with reality. The broad Christian idea of, yeah, there's a God, yeah, there's a Jesus character, it's all wrong. But I can live and let live with that until it becomes an issue. Like with the science denying and reality denying bullshit all of you go with. I have to lean in on this so much because it shows the outright petty hypocrisy of this man and that he can just be that way about it. Ironically, being mean about things in my purview than he would be about, he doesn't do the same to his own stuff. He's never as critical of it. Mind-numbing.
Let's see. Allah commands any person who leaves Islam or encourages others to do so should be seized and slain. 1 out of every 55 verses in the Quran talks about you should kill anybody who doesn't believe like you believe.
Yeah, that really fucking sucks, and that's something that people have to account for. Bible has elements like that too.
God requires you to send.
And let's not forget how and why the Crusades were done.
And your son to die for him. Christianity is a religion where God sent his son to die for you. Anyway, that's so long story. That's enough.
And then suddenly he's got some shit about now he's in the Palestine and stuff. Uh-oh.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, Joseph, what's other questions?
By the way, free Palestine.
A debate misleads people into thinking that creation and evolution are somehow equal in standing and that the scientific community is equally divided on the issue. They aren't.
Oh.
Right, baby? There is no evidence.
There's our friend Crybaby. Thank you, my friend. Sorry, no. You were trying to get into stuff yesterday, so you got this in. Yeah, you were trying to get into stuff Thursday, so the stream we watched yesterday, and you got this in last night. So excellent.
For evolution at all.
So that would have been after my stream.
It is not
Also, nice 666 there.
on equal standing with creation. All the evidence points to there being a creator.
And by the way, Chris from Record Talk has become a Lesser Damon member of the channel. Fuck yeah. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I'm going to keep on trying to put out more members first and potential members only content because you all deserve it all. But God damn it. It's against my capitalist nature and anti-capitalist nature. And yet here I am doing a capitalism. It helps. It's an incentive. We'll put it that way. You incentivize me to produce more special content for you that will then become free for everybody down the line. I intend everything to eventually become available.
If I told you nobody made this ink pen, you'd think I'm a fool. We know somebody made this, and a single cell in your body is 1 trillion times more complex. What you're trying to make here is the art.
Subtitles gone? I'm pretty sure that's goddamned against, I think that's actually illegal. Since a lot of the content will have broadcast on TV. So is it just newer content, or is it like everything? And how do you run a service like that? How do you run a service and not have the closed captioning / subtitles be available? That's fucking insane. And Disney, you got money to do whatever the goddamn hell you want. Fuckers.
Argument from majority opinion. Everybody believes it, so it's got to be true. No, I'm sorry. It's wrong. Evolution is a pagan religion. There is no geologic column. How can the top layer be younger than the bottom layer?
Yeah, the Aisha thing is an extreme sticking point. I've heard a lot of analysis on it and a lot of perspectives, and in the end, it's a complete clusterfuck. And I honestly don't have the energy to get in an argument with somebody on it. And I mean that from the way of like, guys, y'all can't reconcile that. By modern ethics, that is just plain wrong. And by any kind of decency, that is most definitely wrong. You can get into it was the way of nature of the time all you want. I get that, but it's not a good look. Just in retrospect. Just like old Grandpa Jenkins being a racist son of a bitch, it's not a good look, but that thing's a lot worse. But unless it was to come up or need to be brought up, I'm, yeah. Forgive me for being potentially soft on the religion. Some may consider that way. I'd accept that criticism, but I don't have reason to go all fire and brimstone on it yet. No pun intended. Or pun intended. I don't know.
Where's it coming from? That's your Bible, I know. And it probably bothers you that I say that, but it's stupid to believe in that geologic column or to believe those stupid family trees. Come debate me. Call in for
Zoomy. I know I'm late, but if you come back and watch the end of this, have fun with D&D.
Debate. Anytime. Okay? I need more. Ken, hey, my name is Ricky from Nashville, but I've seen some videos of you not wanting to get on the flat earth. I'm not afraid of the flat earth topic. It's not flat. The earth is a big round ball. It spins around 1,086 miles.
I don't need to get on the God topic with you, Kent. There's no God. There you go. Problem solved.
An hour at the equator, 37.6, I think.
Kent. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. Thanks to our dearly departed friend, Bob Nodell, we all know that the Earth spins with a 15 degree per hour drift.
Depends on your altitude, okay? Yep, I can do the math.
Depends on your altitude. You mean latitude, you dumb fuck? It's 15 degrees an hour.
And it goes around the sun 66,000 miles an hour, and the sun goes around the galaxy. We're in one of the spiral arms. It's all true.
Yeah, which arm, Kent? And what exact kind of galaxy are we in? Answers. It's the Orion arm of the Milky Way galaxy, which is a barred spiral galaxy because the core isn't quite a circular shape from what we can tell. It's more of like a barred center. It makes sense when you see it. I kind of question with light speed delays, light travel delays, how we actually can measure to the detail we think we have. But again, that's me saying I kind of am confused by how we can figure it out. But I know that the experts in this, measuring the positions of all these objects, Well, no, because remember, we're looking at a galaxy 100,000 light years across. So the further out you go, the older what we're seeing is. It messes with my mind thinking that everything is technically distorted from our view of like our galaxy because there is so much of a difference in the time and position of things. It's you know.
Well, the government lies, no question. Doesn't mean they lied about that. Okay. So yes, I'm sorry. Kansas is flat. The rest of it's round. Okay. Okay. The flat Earth people are so lost that even showing them proof and evidence isn't enough for them. Any quick words for the flat Earth people? Here's a couple things I would say quickly. If you put a stick in the ground at high noon so it has no shadow, you can move over 100 miles, put a stick in the ground, perpendicular to the ground, it'll have a shadow because the Earth is curved.
Hey, Kent, how long would it take you to get that 100 miles? You'd kind of have to wait till the exact same time the following day.
You can
Also, your experiment doesn't work. Let's hear him say that again, because I know he said something wrong.
in the ground at high noon so it has no shadow. You can move over 100 miles, put a stick in the ground, perpendicular to the ground, it'll have a shadow.
Define over. Define perpendicular. Okay, so perpendicular to the ground, it would have a shadow, Kent, because you'd have to be at you would have to be at a point where the sun is directly above you. So that means within the Tropic of Capricorn and Tropic of Cancer at the appropriate time where solar noon is directly above you, i.e., you are technically closer to the sun than any other person on Earth. And that's a scary thought that technically speaking, at any given point, some person is closer to the sun than anybody else. And vice versa. Some person is further away than anybody else. And usually those people, the person or persons, will be on the ISS, ironically. Or not ironically, just by a matter of practicality. Your explanation of the experiment is fucking terrible, Kent. Come on.
Because the Earth is curved. You can watch ships coming in on a calm sea. You see the top sail first, then the next sail, then the third sail before you see the ship. In the military, they had a problem with shooting over the horizon because the horizon was about 8 miles away. They had battleships that could shoot 20 miles.
When did they have this problem, Kent? In the military, what time period? What was the target? Where was its location? What were the ballistic properties of the cartridge? Was this fired at a shallow angle, or was it more of a direct upper ballistic kind of trajectory? Because there's a big difference with Coriolis effect with something that's going to have a lot of hang time, like something on a ballistic arc, as opposed to something fired more direct, like artillery or a shot from a battleship.
Miles, but they couldn't see the enemy because they're over the curve of the Earth. Sometimes the moon goes around as the moon goes around the Earth. Sometimes it makes a shadow on the Earth called an eclipse. The shadow of the moon is always.
And I just want to love that Hovind has no fucking clue about what flat earthers actually think, because this is all shit they have explanations for. He'd have to try a lot harder.
Is round. Other times.
That's why he legitimately needs to debate a flat earther so he can get fucking owned by them. And I can't believe I'd be rooting for the flat earther, but my God, it would be great to watch him just suffer.
We get on the other side and make a shadow on the moon. Our shadow is always round. Guess what? The Earth is round.
Hey, Kent, don't you know they're just lights in the sky, and that's just shit that NASA and the Illuminati put up there to confuse people? Don't you know anything, dude? Come the fuck on.
Okay. The whole flat Earth thing started about, 20, 30 years ago, I forget. Some atheists probably laughing at Christians to see if they get them to believe something dumb. The devil's.
No, it's genuine Christians who think that, by the way, Kent. They also subscribe to your dome.
Laughing at the atheists for believing they come from a rock. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, and this fucking idiot. Do you think we're living in the last days? Do you watch Hovind, you fucking moron?
Oh, I keep doing this, Joseph. I got this up here. So I have to see it. It's in my way, but I forget to talk about it. We have all kinds of stuff we want you to give out to all your friends. A DVD on dinosaurs and a flyer and my business card that got the Plan of Salvation. If you want to get one of these racks, I think our cost with 10 DVDs in here is probably $20 for. If you want to put it on your business and then call us, I think we'll give at our cost to produce, we'll give you everything, okay? We're not trying to make money. There it is, $35, okay. That's 25
Zumi, let's be clear. I actually can't pronounce that. The Aristophanes experiment. Yeah, and I know what the actual experiment would be, but his description of it is fucking terrible. That's my point. His description of the Aristophanes experiment is just fucking awful.
Part 3. Oh, they got. What do you have on there? Theory of Life.
Flyers and 25 DVDs.
Of which just 25 DVD. Okay, that's and those little racks are $6 each or something. If you have a business, want to put them on your counter, and people come by, can I get one free? Yeah. Okay. Trying to get the gospel hour, trying to win a war, not build a castle. Okay. Next question. You think we are living in the last days? Absolutely. I think this is it. I think they might have already made a treaty. You know, you start the final 7 years when the treaty's made to rebuild the temple, not when they rebuild the temple, when the treaty's made. In the middle of that 7 years, the Antichrist sets up an abomination in the temple.
The treaty with who, Kent? The treaty set up by who? Who signs the treaty and puts this abomination in the temple? Who does all this? And who's getting really involved in Israel right now? Oh, I wonder who.
So the temple has to be built from.
You know, I saw a meme that was like, 25 years ago, USA is the great Satan, and we're like, nah. And then, someone says it today, and, it's the same guy, and they're like,
do that. It could take them, 6 months to build that temple. They are chomping at the bit, ready to go. I think we're already in the tribulation, but we'll see. Okay, let's see. Questions were Arians true Christians? Appreciate the work. I don't know. I don't know enough about that topic to be. I think Gail Ripley or
Kent, are you saying you're not prepared for that?
Have something, Gail, you can call me or text me later if you have on the Arians. Joseph, you got an answer for that one? Okay. Sorry, don't know. TikTok. Other than radiation emissions, what else makes radiocarbon dating inaccurate? Well, we don't know the initial content. The Bible says very clearly in Genesis 1 and 2, there was a water above the firmament. There used to be water above.
Here we go. He's on about his water again.
The firmament, which means the place where the birds fly. Read Genesis 1 and 2. I believe there was a crystal canopy, maybe 10 miles up, compressing the air down, making larger creatures able to fly, like 50-foot wingspan pterodactyls that couldn't fly today. Also, that would block out UV light. So the animals living before the flood probably had very little carbon-14 in their body. And so we're trying to date them by today's standard.
No, Kent. If they contained nothing, we should find no values whatsoever for any of these creatures. We don't even find carbon-14. We don't even fucking find carbon-14 in these fossils and shit because they're fucking fossils and the decay rate has reached a point where it matches background. There is no reasonable carbon-14 to be found. Ugh, this has been done to death. I don't need to go into it again. I don't need the headache. Every goddamn time I stream this fucker, I get a headache.
They started with less. You don't know the initial content of the how much C14 was in it when it died. They know how much is in the atmosphere today, 0.0000765%. Okay, that doesn't mean it's always been that, but they're using that number as their starting point because they think atmospheric C14 has reached equilibrium when it has not. There's lots of problems with it. I covered that on video 7. I'll debate all you atheists on that one too. Okay. Let's see. Where's the best place to leave free Bibles? In somebody's hand.
In the trash where you found them. And now, let's be clear, once again, when I was on the little trip to the ARC protest, which I have to stress I won't be attending again, fuck the people behind it, the motel that was stayed at had a Bible. An oddly stained Bible, mind you, so I kind of regret having touched it, but I haven't contracted Ebola AIDS, so I guess it wasn't that bad. We joked about it a bit, but I still left it because it's not my property. And honestly, that's kind of it. It's not my property. So it wasn't mine to destroy, deface, to do whatever I wished to. someone else wants to, I can't stop them. I'd suggest against it. I just find that to be ethically wrong. Um, but this idea of leaving it in somebody's hands, I mean, you got to presume they're going to give a damn. And Kent, except for the down and out, it's always the down and out. It's never just some random person. It's always somebody who's coerced into this stuff through one reason or another. Anyone who gives a damn about this shit will have already made their decision and have their book and all that crap. You're not actually going to win anyone over in any kind of drove or any groups of people in droves like you think you are. It just doesn't work that way. It never has, and it never fucking will. And I hit the wrong button.
Amen.
Pass them out. Anywhere you go, pass them out.
I think that's about all I got.
All right. Sounds good. Apocrypha.
Oh, here you go.
Kent's just talking amongst us people now.
This is just gonna-
Richard, I sent an email a few days ago about reservoirs of water I found beneath the earth, apparently stored in a mineral called, I've seen about that. Yes, it may.
He didn't say he found, that were found. Mineral called ringwoodite. Oh my fucking god. Ringwoodite, really? You going for that? Does that go with like the wormwood? And some Nibiru shit? Come the fuck on.
Amazing. Have you heard of this? They say there might be 10 oceans worth of water in the crust of the earth right now.
No.
The Bible says at the flood, the fountains of the deep broke open. Most of the flood water came from inside the earth. Watch my video number 6 for more on that. Okay? Thank you, sir.
Yep, that's good.
All right. Sunday morning, we'll be back, hopefully, Lord willing, in Ecclesiastes, trying to finish that book. It's amazing. The title is going to be,
If it's amazing, why does it suck so goddamn much?
Did Solomon change his mind about women?
Yeah, Solomon likes men after that chapter, which is totally cool. It's just, you're going to have some reconciliation to do.
See you Sunday morning. Bye.
Go to hell. Oh, wait, he's in Alabama, so he's already there. Southern Alabama, anyway. Huntsville's alright. Anyway, okay, that's Hovind. Amazingly, this was done in under an hour and a half. Well, at an hour and a half. There we go, left a whole yawn in. I don't know. Something about, it's one thing for Hovind to do his shit where he bashes on, evolution and shit and tries to treat it like it's a religion and does his thing. But when he starts attacking other theologies, I don't know. Something about it just really fucking annoys me because it shows that he understands, this ability to just instantly see that something is a load of crap, but obviously can't rationalize that with his own faith. Just typical dishonesty and selection. Everyone knows they're doing it. That's why people won't discuss subjects. That's why they won't, Hovind won't debate and defend the Bible because he knows he's selectively, believing shit in it that he rejects in other faiths. We see it all before, and honestly, I know y'all tune in primarily for me and just quips and the occasional random story, as opposed to so much of the Hovind. Excuse me, but at the same rate, you also like it when I, when I whack them all the time. So I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just like tiring. Now I remember why I took that bit of a break. Well, part of the reason I took it, but we're gonna keep on going. We're gonna keep following stuff because it's the holiday season coming up. I feel like Hovind's going to have a few more reasons to go off the rails over stupid crap. Video 6 even worse than season 8 of Game of Thrones. Damn. Find the book, read them notes, people. Highlight contradictions. Which day did Jesus rise? He had morning wood as a carpenter, so Jesus rose every day. Let's call it daddy issues. Too many Christians have a sadomasochistic attachment to their faith. They do. All right, I'm going to hop off here, play some Guild Wars. Yawn about a dozen more times, and go to sleep. Y'all are fucking awesome. Much love. Catch everyone next time.